The Purdue Boilermakers are advancing to the round of 32 after a dominating 104-71 victory over the 15-seed Queens in the first round of the NCAA Tournament. It was domination from the word go here in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center. There's no question about that. Purdue carrying over their level of play from Chicago in the Big Ten Tournament. 4 wins in 4 days now, make it a 5th straight win for Purdue after a big-time performance from their big three, Fletcher Loyer, Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman-Renn, and I'd be remiss if I didn't start with Braden Smith breaking the all-time NCAA college basketball assist record, surpassing Bobby Hurley with his 2nd assist of the ball game, a pass to Trey Kaufman-Renn, who puts it in for an and one. His first assist as a Purdue Boilermaker going to number 4, his last assist or his record-breaking assist, I should say, certainly not his last, going to Trey Kaufman-Renn as well. Really impressive stuff from the Boilermakers. Braden Smith leading the way with 25 points, 9 assists. Trey Kaufman-Renn, 26 points, 8 rebounds. 11 three-pointers between Braden Smith, C.J. Cox, and Fletcher Loyer. Purdue shot nearly 60% from beyond the arc. They're just looking like they're playing free. It's just a flow state of this basketball team right now. I know it's Queens, okay, but the level of play and the standard of play carries over from game to game to game. It starts on the defensive end. They carried it over to the offensive end, making a high percentage level of shots and just playing their game. Trey Kaufman-Renn continues to finish at an extremely high level in the painted area. Get this, Oscar Clough and Trey Kaufman-Renn together out-rebounded Queens' entire team. You're going to win a lot of ball games when you're doing stuff like that. Now it's all attention on the round of 32. We got a chance to hear from the Boilers after a big-time opening round win here in the NCAA Tournament.
First of all, congrats to Queens for a fabulous season. I don't think people realize the transition you have to make going from Division II to Division I and being able to get in the tournament as quick as they have. It really speaks to their staff, their players, and just it's really hard to do. And, give them credit. Obviously, today was our day, and we shot the ball really well, and our guys were very efficient. I thought we did a good job rebounding. I thought we did a good job outside of getting a little bit sloppy there at the end. But congratulations also to Braden to break that record, to have the most assists in the history of college basketball. It's just an unbelievable feat. When Zach Edey started putting up numbers, and he had the most points ever at Purdue, the most rebounds ever at Purdue, and now to coach somebody that has the most assists ever in the history of Division I basketball is an unbelievable accomplishment, especially from the great Bobby Hurley, who we're in the same grade, and he was just the quintessential point guard and winner at Duke University when he played, and has had a fabulous coaching career. But for him to have that honor for 33 years just speaks as to how great Bobby Hurley was, and and you look at the other guys that are right behind him with Chris Corciani and Ed Cota, and it's a big time achievement. Happy for him, and excited about advancing in this tournament and having some fun.
First question's right here. Thank you, Matt.
Kyle, Sports Report. Matt, you're wearing the March Madness button. What's that mean to you?
I think it's hard to be successful in March Madness. It's what you work for. What people don't understand is that when you go and you start your workouts and your practices in June, it's for March and April. And not everybody feels great in June. Not everybody feels great in March. You have practiced, you have competed. It's hard. Everybody's banged up, everybody's injured, and now can you lay it on the line and be able to get a victory, or get 2 victories, or get 3 victories, whatever it might be. We want to have a long run in the tournament, but everybody wants to have a long run. So you have to cherish it, and so cherishing this win, but also getting ready for our next opponent. But it's a special time, and it's a special time for these guys. I always say it to our younger guys because they don't quite get it. Like, this is it for our seniors. Like, this is it. It's over. I'm coming back next year. They're coming back next year, and they're not. So we got to do everything in our power to have a special run here in March Madness.
We have 2 questions on the left-hand side, then we'll go over here. Go.
Dustin Schutte, Purdue on SI. Trey, you were the first player to record Braden's first assist, and then you were the one who scored on the record-breaking assist. Just what does that mean to you?
No, I think it's just been really cool, over the years, us kind of growing together, me modeling my game around, I'm going to have the best ball handler in college basketball history on my team. So how am I going to develop my game around that? It's the same thing. We had Zach on our team, and, that's the advice the coach gave me. Like, he's going to play. He's going to get, he's just such a great player, so you have to be able to fit with those guys. And so when you have such special players, just being able to model your game around them. But, no, as a player, I'm thankful. Like you said, he's not only the first and last, but he's accounted for a lot of my scoring throughout my career. So it's been great.
Nathan Baird, Indianapolis Star. For Braden, obviously you have a connection on the court with Trey, but he's also known as the philosophy major. And I'm curious if any conversations you've had with him over the years that have changed your perspective, either on basketball or anything else over these 4 seasons.
Yeah, we've had a lot. I think it's just when it comes to the basketball court, just the way he thinks about certain stuff, it kind of makes me, like, as a point guard, because my job is to put people in positions to be successful, to help people out, trying to get an understanding of, just where everybody's at, and then also hearing Trey's side and Trey's perspective of what he's seen and what he thinks. And obviously for me, like, I've grown a lot as a person and as a player, because obviously I feel when I was younger, like, I was just so competitive. I was, no offense, but, like, kind of a dick, like, just how I was. And he could probably attest to that. And I think I've got a lot better at just trying to, like, understand and listen. And obviously we have our moments and we get on each other, but we can hold each other to that standard because we both have an understanding of we want to win and we know what it takes to win. So being able to hold each other to that standard and then also listen to each other. I don't really have a specific story, but I think just overall, like, as a basketball player and off the court, yeah, he's got some, like, moon landing and all that stuff that we talk about, but I just sit there and just listen. So
We have 3 questions on the right-hand side going forward. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Braden, Ben Baby with ESPN. What does it mean to break the record, and what was it like? I know you're in the middle of the game, but to have the reaction the crowd did, not only after you broke the record, but during the timeout?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. We always travel really well, and we're obviously very thankful to have fans at almost every game, home and away. And I think for that, it's a good feeling. But I think in that moment, game was a little bit tight, and I was just focused on trying to win and to get a lead. So for me, I don't think it's really set in, because to me, again, it's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's why I came here. As a point guard, it's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get guys the ball to go score, and obviously I have a lot of great people around me that can do that. So, like, for me, it's my job to put them in positions to go score.
Yeah, the crowd went crazy, and I thought it was for my Euro step, but I guess it wasn't.
Hey, this is for Braden. Greg Doyle from Indy Star. I was going to ask you about, you didn't really celebrate when the record happened, and that's why. Instead, I'm not sure if you missed a shot after you got the record. Maybe you did, but you hit a bunch. Is there anything to that, just this long march is over and the march towards the record, and you hit all these shots?
Yeah, I think I've been very thankful and blessed to be put in a position where people trust me with the ball in my hands. And my teammates trust me, the coaching staff trusts me, and obviously I trust myself enough to go make shots. And I think for me, my big emphasis is last week I didn't shoot it well all week. Like, I think I made a total of 10 shots in four basketball games. So, and I think I'm my hardest critic. So I was very frustrated about that. And just being able to come out and make shots, obviously you got to, whatever the game, brings you got to play. Whether they're double team, then that's my job to get the ball out of my hands and pass it to Trey, and he's going to go make the right read, and we'll score that way. Or if I need to score, and obviously tonight it was a mixture of both. But just having guys and a team around me that trust me with the ball to go make shots and then also make plays.
Paul.
Coach Paul Arn with the Victory Bell. I think Joe had said as you were walking up something like 45 NCAA tournament games for Grant Leonard. That was his first. You hinted at yesterday the kind of the grind he's had to go through to get to this level. Do you have any thoughts or memories about your first tournament game and kind of as it responds to Grant, what that's like to go through this the 45th time as opposed to the first time?
It was at Southern Illinois, and we got beaten an 8-9 game on a really close game to Alabama. And then they ended up beating the 1 seed in the next game, which was Stanford at the year. So we're 23 years ago. And so what was crazy for me, it really helps in this business if you played. Not that you're a better coach or anything, but to be able to get on that. When I said he's had a tough route, like what I mean, it's, you know, I'm coaching at my alma mater, and you get a benefit. The guy that hired me at Southern Illinois was an assistant at Purdue, Bruce Weber, for 18 years. The guy I took his spot at Eastern Illinois was his brother. So, like, Purdue's always helped me, whether they've hired me or they haven't, but I also played, so you have name recognition. It's just harder. That's what I said. He's had a tough route, and he's really, you know, I got a lot of respect for him and what he's been able to do. And what's crazy with my story is that I bought my first house when I got the job at Southern Illinois after being an assistant for 5 years. And I was like, it was a big deal to me. I had to borrow money, and, you know, it was a big deal. And, you know, 9 months later, I'm on the phone the day after I get beaten that game, and with the Purdue AD, and he was talking about Coach Katie and what he was going to do, maybe take the San Francisco job, maybe retire, but maybe stay one more year and they might hire an assistant. And I about dropped the phone when I had a big old cell phone at the time, it was huge. And it was like those old car phones, right? You remember those? We thought those were cool, they weren't. And he went through those 3 scenarios, and at the end he said, yeah, and if he wants to stay another year, there's a great possibility that you could be the next head coach at Purdue. And I was like, no, hey, say that again. Like, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was 32, 33 years old, and that was just, you know, something for me. But it just helps when you're in this business and you've played at a high level and you've got people like Gene Katie and Bruce Weber that's helping you. Here's this guy, he has grinded it. And I just got a lot of respect for what he's been able to do. I coached in that state at a couple different places, and smaller schools, Barton College, which is a Division II school. And it's just, it's amazing. It is amazing. So, like, hats off to the players at Queens and their staff for the success they've had.
We have 6 minutes left in the session. Next question's right here.
Coach Sam Lance, Field of 68. Just can you kind of encapsulate what Braden's meant to this program? I know you guys, you know, still hopefully have a lot of basketball to play, but
yeah, like, you have to understand in coaching, a lot of people don't understand this, is that if you have multiple places to go with the basketball, like, you're in a hell of a position. Like, we got the best shooter from 3 that we've ever had at Purdue in Fletcher Lawyer. Like, Trey Kaufman-Renn is very unique. Like, the shots he was making against Michigan, I mean, we see it every day. You take it for granted a little bit. You got to catch yourself. And then to be able to have somebody like him where you know somebody's a great player, and when they struggle, you stay with them. That's kind of a backwards way of looking at greatness. But, like, when we've always stayed with him, because I've always felt even at his worst, he was still our best. And it didn't happen a lot. But I think that sometimes players can take advantage of that a little bit, and he's never done that. You know, he's always stuck with it and played and understood, like, God dang, I had 6 turnovers. I didn't play very well. And it's like, we're coming right back to you. And I just know it as a player that I never had that feeling outside high school when someone, you know, believed in you, you were that. But that's what you have to be able to do. You have to instill that in your guys. You wish you could do that with everybody. You can't do that with everybody. But he also earned it. Trey Kaufman-Renn also earned it. Fletcher Lawyer, they've earned it. Everything they've gotten here, they've earned the hard way. But no, it's been fun, because, you know, people will come up to me and say, man, you guys run some really good stuff. I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not calling any of it. P.J. Thompson does it all for us, and he's fabulous, and these guys will tell you. They will tell you that. He's very, very good at what he does, but guys like this make the plays work. Like, when guys like this move on, and you're like, hey, what about all those plays you ran that were so great? They're not as great anymore, you know. So any coach will tell you that. You know, players make things happen.
You have 2 questions on the left-hand side. Go, please.
Sam Sprunger, Lounge Sportsnet. Braden, can you talk about Omar a little bit and how he has learned from you and how he's progressed throughout the course of this season to become pretty reliable when, A, you need to come off for a break, or being a close to you?
You know, I mean, that's my guy. And I think I've tried to, like, when I was young, I had a couple guys that came to me that were older, like Ethan Morton, obviously Zebo Mason, like those guys that were older, they were there for me and helped me PJ, huge guy that helped me when I was young. Like he's been through the system and understands like what to expect, how to do it, how to approach stuff, and obviously having people like that puts me in a better position. So I wanted to be that for Omar because I wanted to help him because obviously he's good. Like he's shown you that, and you saw it when he was overseas playing. Like that's just he's a great player. So for me, it was just trying to build a connection with him and just try to help him the best I can. And obviously, just being able to come out and know that we still have somebody that can do what I do out there, it kind of just makes me a little bit relieved. So obviously, he's gonna be a great player, and he's young, and obviously like to give him a lot of crap still, but no, he's one of my guys. So
2 minutes to go. Next question's here.
Yes, sir. This is for Braden. I'm just curious, obviously, first couple of years, Zach Edey was leading the way. In these last 2, you've been the leader of this team. I'm just curious, what have you learned through those 2 years of what it means to be a leader?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think I'm very good at it right now. Like, I think I'm still working at it to be better every single day, and I have moments where I got to be better, and I have moments that I need to work on, and I think a lot of people tell you the same thing, and for me, I think there's just a huge difference from my first 2 years. It was more like a lead by example because we had guys that were more talkative and did that. We have Mason, we have Fletch. Fletch still does that now. I'm still a lead by example guy, but I still got to communicate as well, and I feel like that's kind of my job, and I feel like for me, it's just, as a point guard on the floor, that's what you got to do. You got to be able to direct your guys and hold your guys accountable, but I also hold myself accountable. Like, I want to be perfect in everything I do. It's not possible, but like I try to. And I think a lot of people would tell you that are around me and know me, like that's how I am. Like I get frustrated or upset if my jump shot doesn't feel good, but it still goes in. I'm still pissed about it. Like that's just how I am. And just being able to grow, and obviously I've been a lot better my junior and senior year, just being able to talk and learn from guys and understand guys in the way that they think, and obviously know their strengths and weaknesses. So that I think I've made a lot of improvement, but still got to be better.
Yes, sir.
Win, coach, just what was working for you guys? Feels like you guys are playing very free right now.
Yeah, I thought we were very efficient. If you look at our field goal percentage in the first and second half, we did a good job. We got a little sloppy, there at the end, but when your front line has more rebounds in the game than their team, you're going to get in a pretty good position. You shoot the ball well, you dominate the glass, you take care of the basketball. Like I said, we had a handful of possessions there where it got a little sloppy, but I thought our guys were ready to play. Our starters were pretty locked in. The first half, Fletch didn't get many looks there, then it opened up for him there in the second half, and that was great to see. I thought TK did some really good things, and obviously Braden played well, and I think it was good for him to, get that behind him. It's such a great award, but like people just talk about it all the time, and but he handled it, like a pro, and it was great to see that, and just a good good win for our team.
Was there fitting that it's Braden and Trey hooking up for that?
Yeah, just a little surreal, right? To the guy that gets his first assist, gets his assist to break the record. So, yeah, it was great to see. It's a two-way street, and I've always talked about that with this record looming. Like, you go look at Ed Cota at North Carolina, and you go look at Corciani at NC State. You look at Braden. You look at Bobby Hurley at Duke. Now go talk about all the people that made baskets for him. It's a lot of really good players. Like, this award has to be an unbelievable floor general, an unbelievable passer, that quintessential point, but you got to have people to pass it to. And we've had a lot of guys from Zach Edey to Trey Kaufman-Renn to Fletcher Lawyer. There's a lot of them there, but those guys had a lot of them too. So it's his, but it's also one of those team awards.
How does you think CJ and Oscar kind of complement your four-year guys?
Yeah. Oh, it's great because, CJ gives us that balance. You're going to see in games sometimes CJ is not going to get a lot of shots. The defense dictates it. But you also can see a game like Northwestern where he gets a bunch, and so like for us, it's always like, let the game tell us what to do. If he gets a bunch of them, great. Oscar's, had about a 3 to 4 week run there where he wasn't as effective as he was earlier in the year. And here in the, last 2-3 weeks, he's been a load. And that's what we need. We need him on the glass. We need him defensively. But we also need him to score that ball down low, especially when they stay home on our shooters.
as you mentioned, it's a big moment for all three seniors that started from the bottom with Braden Smith getting to this record. Do you feel confident that you'll be able to continue the way you've developed this program and keep guys for 4 years like you have with these guys?
It's a good question. We're obviously going to try. We're not going to get away from anything that we do. The thing that's really helped us, obviously, our three guys that you mentioned are from Indiana. And we're always going to recruit to the fit at Purdue. And if that's you're in state Indiana, great. But if not, we've had some pretty good players out of state, have a lot of success for us too. So we're probably going to have a balance, but I think it's important to get that. It's so hard in this climate for guys that don't hit it right away. It's really hard for them because what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. It's hard being good. It's hard being good at a high level. And so for us, we're going to keep doing the same things. It's really their reaction to everything. It's not our reaction, but it's also not a school district. Who we recruit and who we pick and who we take, but it's just a different landscape. So it's a really good question. I wish I had the answer. We're going to try to do the same thing, but we'll see. The one thing is you can't be stuck in your ways when there's changes that are new, right? This has worked for us. If we can keep doing it, we will. But you also got to pivot out of situations if it's not the best interest of Purdue. So.
Matt, do you think two guards like Braden and Fletcher starting every game of their careers together will ever happen again in college basketball?
Boy, I wouldn't think so. Not while I'm here. I wouldn't think so. It's just so hard to start right away and nothing happens. You come out of the lineup because you don't play well. You get an injury, whatever. There's just, you sign somebody who's damn good in your position, whatever it might be, and so, man, that'll be hard pressed. Maybe a person will do it, but I don't know if two people at the same time will do it.
To see Liam get in there, he's been in college a long time. First NCAA tournament, he chucks one up and he goes in. It's going to be a special moment for him.
Yeah, that was great, man. PJ yelled at him to get a pin down for him, for he can really shoot the basketball. So that was a really cool moment for him to make that shot.
How long did it take you to trust Ray as the point guard for your program?
It takes a while. You work through it. I just said in there, even when he struggled, I thought he was our best option. And so, what player doesn't want to play through their mistakes, right? Every player is going to grow when you play through your mistakes. And you don't do it to the staff and say, well, they're going to play me no matter what. You'd be surprised how many people we want people, your value to winning is the most important thing. And when people start talking, well, what about my minutes? What about this? Or what about Purdue winning? There's nothing wrong with wanting to play, but it doesn't supersede winning. And those guys have always played to win. And that's what we got to keep getting. We got to keep getting guys. We feel like we got guys coming that are that way. We feel like we got some guys that haven't had, great opportunities so far that can really be, consistent everyday players for us.
Right. It gives you sparks when other teams are on runs. He takes the momentum, or a guy that just, going back to Alabama last year, that can hit 2 or 3 threes in a row and get you going. What is it about him that, that's kind of part of his game where he's an instant shot maker at times?
Yeah, he just does his job. When it's there, he takes it, and he does his job on defense, and that rewards him on the offensive end.
Did you guys need that boost just to get that separation at the end of the first half and have some breathing room?
Definitely. The guy knock down open shots, hitting threes, always helpful to go on runs in big games.
Couple that with the big run to start the second half, and I know that's always a big emphasis. How important was it to not let that lead at halftime kind of slip away early in the second half?
Yeah, you got to put teams away, especially in March. So when you've lost games in March, you know how important it is to do your job and finish things out.
Liam's a guy that hasn't had a lot of opportunity, but to see him get a shot up after 6 years of college basketball, that's got to be a pretty special moment, right?
Yeah, a guy that puts in a lot of work, does his job day in, day out, and always comes in with a smile on his face. You love to see him do what he does and knock down shots.
Is the first one the hardest in a lot of times, just to get the jitters out of that first NCAA tournament game?
And one win's a win.
What goes into just keeping that rhythm? You guys felt like you were in a flow state last week, got into that start of the second half, pulled away. What goes into just staying in that rhythm of March with the day off and then back at it?
Yeah, just doing your job. No matter who you're playing, coming out and focus on what you practice for the whole year and guarding and rebounding and taking care of the ball.
What was your perspective of Braden just breaking the record and all he's accomplished?
Special talent. Obviously, no point guard I'd rather play with, so guy that finds me a lot and does his job and wins ball games.
I feel like you guys are playing like pretty free right now, just the way you're moving offensively and ramping up that defensive effort as well.
Yeah, when we can get stops and get out and go, it's when we're at our best. So continue to focus on our defense and get out and do our job on offense.
What do you know about Miami or Missouri? You know, every round it gets tougher. 2 Power 5, Power 4 teams. What do you know about them?
Yeah, it just gets tougher from here on out. So watching this game, getting our scout ready, and then executing the scout come Sunday.
What do you guys need to know about short practice?
Take us through that moment from your perspective.
Yeah, I was on the bench when he broke the record, but it's just surreal that he was able to accomplish his goal. And I honestly don't think anyone will break it for a really long time, if ever.
And to hear the crowd just give him a standing ovation, not once, twice, 3 times, how cool was that?
It was really cool. Definitely a special moment for him and everyone else who supported him throughout these 4 years. So I'm just proud of everything he's accomplished so far.
Thanks, CJ.
What goes into sustaining this level of play, day off, back at it? Like, you guys take what you did last week, carry it over. Like, what goes into that, just staying in that rhythm?
Yeah, just knowing that, if we lose, we're going home. So just having that winning mentality, just putting your heart out every game no matter what, either if we're playing a 15 seed or a 3 seed, just going out there playing our best.
It was clear you guys were kind of pulling away, and then that second half, what kind of led to that just a sustained run that saw the lead balloon and balloon?
Yeah, I feel like the first half, there's a little bit back and forth at the beginning, and then we got a little bit of a lead, like 15 points, and then at halftime it was around 12, so just keep putting our foot on the gas and keep executing, keep looking for our shots. I feel like we shot the ball really well today, which is why we put up 100-something points, so just continuing that the rest of the tournament.
What do you know about Miami or Missouri? Every round, opponents are going to get even tougher and tougher, but 2 Power 5 conference opponents, what do you know about either of them?
Yeah, I know they're both really good teams, so just going, no matter who wins, going into Sunday with a winning mindset.
What worked out there tonight against Queens?
Just everyone doing their job and playing as a team, being connected.
How big was this win?
It was a big win. Every game's a big one when it's one and done. So it for sure is a big win.
With Braden's assist, what was that like being on the floor for the record breaker?
Oh, it's cool. It would have been nice to be the one who got the assist, but it's awesome. I'm proud of him.
How incredible is what he's been able to do?
Unreal. He's a hell of a guy, hell of a dude, and what he's done, everything he's got.
What goes into just keeping up this level of play you guys are at with the day off and then back at it regardless of opponent?
Just being together, being connected, playing as a team. It really helps us.
You know anything about Miami or Missouri, next opponent?
No comment.
No comment on that one. Yeah, obviously. This year, everything's been made of what happened at Mackey, but your success on the road has been pretty outstanding. Is there anything to that?
Just being mentally tough, playing harder than the other team. Obviously, tactics and talent has something to do with winning games, but at the end of the day, if you play harder, if you dominate the offensive boards and the rebounds, offensive and defense, and trying to minimize turnovers, you get more possessions and you put yourself in a better position to outscore your opponent. So I think that's a big part.
This was your first March Madness experience. How much did you pay attention to that overseas? And yesterday, obviously you guys were practicing, but how much did you watch any of it and take it in?
I mean, I've watched it. I've always knew what March Madness is. Obviously, I'm very familiar with all the big moments. But yeah, obviously, when I was back in Israel, so didn't really get the chance to actually sit down and watch a game because of the time differences. But yeah, yesterday I've watched the games. Today I watched the games before our game, before it's time to prepare yourself. It's amazing to be a part of this kind of a tournament with this kind of exposure. So, yeah.
Feels like you guys are playing really free right now. How do you just maintain that rhythm that you guys kind of found last week? Now day off, back at it the next day. How do you just maintain that free state that you guys are playing in?
It starts from our defense, and we all know it. So we're just focusing on that, trying to get our job done. But you know, mentally and physically, no one is tired in merch. Not us, not the other teams. So like, I'm just gonna focus on what we can fix because we had some mistakes this game. Obviously, learn from the good things as well. And you know, as I said, we got a big challenge ahead of us. It's certainly gonna be a tough game. So we'll be ready and prepared.
Next up for Purdue, looking to punch its ticket back to the Sweet 16. The Miami Hurricanes wait on the other side. It's going to be a difficult matchup. Miami, the highest win total year over year improvement with under first-year head coach Jay Lucas. So they're humming right now, a big-time win over Missouri to get in this position, and now we'll see who can win this game and advance to the Sweet 16. We'll have all your coverage on air and right here on WTHR+. See you next time.